Hey everybody, this is Angela from Texas, and you're listening to 5 Picks and a Chick featuring El Gato. This is the show that gives you 5 NFL picks for people who love football and friendly wagering. However, we are in the NFL offseason, so we're going to give you 5 college basketball picks for the Sweet 16 matchups. Today we're joined by our special guest, Henry. Thanks for being with us today, Henry.
Hey, thanks for having me. I hope everybody's bracket's doing better than mine.
Well, speaking of brackets, mine busted the first round. Who picks Purdue to win it all? Oh my gosh. I haven't even looked at brackets now.
You and a bunch of other folks. It's not just you.
I know.
Yeah, and, that Purdue being a bracket buster, but how about that Arizona team? I mean, it seems like every year I pick a Pac-12 team to advance really far, and it always bites me. So, yeah, I understand the pain with you on that one.
Well, what made me feel a little bit better was that last week I was 4-1, and El Gato was 3-2. And our off-season record is 7-3, and El Gato 6-4. So not too bad. I will go with that. What are your thoughts on that, El Gato?
Yeah, I'll take that. You're running at 70% win rate. I'm running at 60% win rate. You can't ask for anything better than that. Hell, who needs football? Let's just stay off season.
Yeah. Hey, we didn't do too bad in football either, so I am pretty happy about that as well.
Yeah, it's going good. A lot of fun.
All right, so again, we are talking about Sweet 16. My first pick is going to be FAU plus 5.5 over Tennessee. FAU is on a 9-game winning streak. They do come out of a very competitive USA conference with North Texas and UAB, who are actually both still alive in the NIT. I believe UAB is playing right now in the quarterfinal. So, also Tennessee, on the other hand, is solid on defense, but they are only averaging 62 points a game in the tournament and are shooting 43% from the field this year. FAU can win this game outright. What are your thoughts about this game, El Gato?
Yeah, I think I'm going to take the other side of that one, Angela. I mean, FAU is on a pretty good run here at the end of the season, and obviously in this tournament. They're one of the smallest teams left in the tournament, but they are quick and they are athletic. They rely a lot on the 3-pointers, to keep them in the game. Tennessee, on the other hand, they're very physical. I mean, for those who watched the Tennessee-Duke game, we kind of saw how they beat up Duke and, just wore them down completely in that game. And, of course, they're one of the top defenses left in the tournament. Tennessee comes out with some good guards. They have 3 good forwards that can score the ball and grab offensive and defensive rebounds. I'm going to go with the more physical and bigger team on this one. I'm going to go with Tennessee minus 5.5. Although I think FAU can make a game of this, but I'm going to go ahead and go with the tougher team on this one.
All right. What about you, Henry?
I'm going to just kind of reiterate some of the same points that you guys did. Tennessee is the number 1 ranked defense. But yes, they struggle on offense. They go through some dry spells, as you mentioned, by only scoring 62 points a game. But I think FAU is not going to know how to handle the Tennessee defense. And as El Gato said, FAU is a smaller team. I anticipate that being an issue with them on rebounds. So I'm on Tennessee minus points.
All right. Sounds good. My second pick is going to be another South Florida team, Miami plus 7 against Houston. Miami is coming off one of their best games of the season, beating Indiana, and they are also 4-1 against AP-ranked teams. All the pressure, I think, is going to be on Houston in this game, trying to get to the Final Four, which will be held in H-Town. Both teams made it to the Elite 8 last year, and this will be an even matchup. I'm taking Miami plus the points. What are your thoughts on this game, Henry?
Yeah, I'm afraid I'm going to be on the opposite side of you on this one as well. Houston looked terrible game 1, fought through it, got a win. Sasser's got an injury, Shed's battling an injury. It looked better in the second half of game 2, they fell down by 10. Game 2 to Auburn, fought back and won by 17. They got 4 days off, so you give Shed and you give Sasser a chance to get a little bit healthy. You give Sampson a chance to break down Miami over 4 days. I think I'm going to ride with Sampson's coaching experience, a healthier Sasser and Shed, and take Houston minus the points.
All right. What about you, Elgato? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, Henry makes some good points on that, but I'm going to go with Miami on +7 on this one. Miami, their mode of operation is going to be transition, try to get up and down the court. Houston, on the other hand, I think they use more of the half-court sets, and they just try to dominate the opponent, with their talent and maybe do some ISO plays, almost like NBA type. And speaking of NBA, I just read 5 NBA prospects on that team, so they are loaded. It's no wonder they're the number 1, seed in the tournament. I think Miami, they're good athletically. How long can they match their athleticism with Houston's? Of course, I think they go 8 deep, maybe 9 deep on that roster. I'm gonna take a chance on Miami on this one. I'm gonna hope and pray that they can hang with Houston most of the game and cover that +7.5. So I'm going to go with Miami on this one. I think it's going to be a competitive, fun game to watch.
All right. Sounds good. Do you have a third pick for us, Henry?
Yeah, I'm going to look at the San Diego State game. They're getting, 7, 8 points, kind of depending on when you're looking at the game. They're a deeper, senior-laden team. They got 7 guys that average over 15 minutes a game. They got 8 seniors. So I don't think Bama's going to scare them. I don't think they're going to be intimidated. I think they're going to know how to hang around, and I think they hang around within 7 or 8 points.
All right. What are your thoughts on this game, Elgato?
Yeah, I think San Diego State is strong defensively. They try to put their opponents in the half-court sets. But Bama, they go up and down the court. They take, their game plan is the more possessions they can get, the better. And, they shoot the ball no matter, what's on the shot clock. It can be, 10 seconds into the shot clock, or it can be deep, at the 33-second mark. They have 3 NBA prospects that can go up and down the court. They're very athletic. I think their athletes on the Bama team can overcome that -7. I think with their transition game, I'm thinking they'll get San Diego State out of their half court defensive scheme, and I'll go with Bama -7 on this one.
Yeah, I'm going to go with you as well, Elgato. Bama -7. Although San Diego State plays great defense, they haven't really faced a team like Alabama yet, and they won't be able to keep up with Alabama offensively. So I'm going Alabama -7. Do you have a fourth and fifth pick for us, Elgato?
Yeah, I have a couple of picks here. I'm looking at the Creighton-Princeton matchup. Princeton, if you remember them back in the day with, they used to run a very slow, methodical type of game, and the games were usually in the either high 40s or 50s. They've kind of changed up a little bit the last couple of years, and if you look at this tournament, they really walloped Missouri the other day. Creighton, on the other hand, they have 5 scorers offensively. They can really score the ball. Defensively, they're very strong. They have a couple of solid rebounders as well. I'm looking for Princeton to maybe go back old school and try to limit possessions in this game, maybe go deep into the shot clock. That's why I'm going to go with the under at 140.5. I think Creighton can score. I don't think they'll score as much with Princeton trying to, keep the possessions to a minimum.
Oh, all right. Do you have any thoughts on this game, Henry?
Yeah, I'm going to be in the same boat on that. I think the total's a little bit high. I think the Cinderella run kind of comes to an end. Creighton's the more battle-tested team just based on who they played in conference. I'm going to agree and take the under.
Yeah, I'm taking the under as well in this game. Creighton should be able to hold down Princeton offensively, and Princeton will try to slow down the game, like Elgato said. which will bode well for the under. So I guess all three of us are going with the under in this game. That sounds good to me.
All right.
How about a fifth pick, El Gato?
Yeah, my fifth pick is going to be the game Gonzaga and UCLA. It's going to be a rematch of a couple of years ago when they had that exciting game when Gonzaga, won it on the last shot. I think the committee kind of designed it that way for both teams to have this rematch in the Sweet 16. Both teams can get up and down the court. Gonzaga is boasting the best offensive currently in the tournament. UCLA, however, they have size and they have athletes that can match up well with Gonzaga, and I don't think they're going to be intimidated at all with the Gonzaga mystique. Of course, UCLA has their own tradition as well, but UCLA can match up well both inside and can hit the three-pointer, and they're pretty good defensively also. But I think this is going to be an up-and-down game where the over, I'm hoping, is easily overcome at the 147.5. I'm going to take the over on this one.
All right. Do you have any comments on this game, Henry?
Yeah, I want to make mine pretty short. I'm also on the over just because the Zags can score, but they're allergic to defense, and I think UCLA is going to put up a whole bunch of points.
All right. Well, I don't really have an opinion on the over-under. I will take Gonzaga +2 in this game. Gonzaga is one of the top offensive teams in the league, shooting 53% from the field this season. And they have the best player on the court in Drew Timme. So I'm taking Gonzaga in a slight upset.
All right.
All right. Well, do you have a bonus bet for us, Henry?
Yeah, I do. I'm going to go to the Arkansas-UConn game. And my thought process is kind of the same as it has some of the same traits as that U of H game, where you're going to give a good coach 3-4-ish days to get ready for an opponent. Arkansas coach is a heck of a coach. They got 2 potential lottery picks on that team, so I think they're well coached. He's got time to get ready for UConn. They're a talented team. Just beat a really good Kansas team. I'm going to take Arkansas on the points. It's 4.
All right. Do you have any thoughts on this game, El Gato?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Henry on this one. I agree, with the talent that Arkansas has. I mean, you saw what they did against a talented Kansas team. Those 2 NBA prospects that Arkansas puts on the court. I mean, man, they can score the ball. They can play defensively. They've got length. And the UConn team, although they're good defensively, on this one, I think it's going to be a really tight matchup. And with the tight matchup, I will go with the points, especially if it's, at 4. I'll go with Arkansas +4.
All right. Well, I'm going to go with you guys as well. Arkansas +4. I agree with everything that y'all said, but the reason I'm going with Arkansas is I want to see their head coach, Musselman, take off his shirt again. Let's go.
Man, let's show those muscles, Musselman. All right.
Yeah. So
he's not the biggest guy in the world.
No, that was a joke. but I still am going with Arkansas +4.
Yeah, you know what? I think that Arkansas team, they were, I think, preseason. Correct me if I'm wrong, Henry or Angela. Preseason, they were ranked pretty high. Then they, kind of fell, during the month of December and January. But they're making a pretty good run in this tournament. They did a pretty good run in the towards the end of the season, and now look where they are. The chance to go to the Elite Eight if they can get past UConn.
Yeah, they looked good in that last game. They came from behind, so I think they've got the confidence to take that game. So
yeah,
go
no doubt.
Arkansas. All right, do you have any final comments, Elgato?
Well, the Sweet 16, making it to the Sweet 16 is an establishment, right? You win 2 games in your pod and you advance, and now, you win 1 game, and now you're just a couple of wins away from the Final Four. So, these games, they're packed with pressure. It's the team that can withstand the runs and can perform well and execute under pressure. This is what these games are about. So it's going to be an exciting end of the week and into the weekend.
I agree. What about you, Henry?
No, that's all I got.
All right. Well, my final thought is going to be last week I said I would give you a countdown for the NFL kickoff game, which is September 7th, and we are at 168 days.
Well, gosh, seems like so long, but I'll take it.
I hope that's correct, but I'm pretty sure it is. Go and check the math on me. So
Check the math. We'll fact check you on
yeah,
that. Okay?
please do let me know, because I'll give you another countdown next week, because I am ready for NFL to begin.
Well, you know what? If next week isn't 161, we know that this is wrong.
Something is definitely wrong. We will see what happens.
All right, Angela.
Sounds good. Well, thank you for listening to 5 Picks and a Chick. Be sure to tell your friends about us. Also, hit the subscribe and like button on our YouTube channel. You can also find us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Thank you, Henry, for joining us today.
Thanks, guys.
All right.
Thanks, Henry. Appreciate it.
Make sure to join us next week. It'll be on Thursday when we will talk about the final 4 teams and our thoughts on who's going to the championship game. As always, thank you, El Gato, for being part of 5 Picks and a Chick. 1, 2, 3, break.